Whether or not you enjoy crossovers is a simple matter of personal taste, rather like with shipping or clop. This should be obvious, though it does not seem to stop the myriad of complaints about how pieces of media are being ruined by ponification, as though MLP crossovers are some kind of hideous contamination. It is true that crossovers can be tricky to get right. Take a My Little Pony and Deadpool crossover, for instance. Done badly, the characters from one universe would enter the other universe where they casually interact with nothing at stake until they leave or the audience falls asleep from boredom. Worse still, it could be a borderline plagiaristic retelling of Deadpool with the characters swapped for ponies and a few awkward puns thrown in for good measure. Fortunately, Pinkiepool Episode 1, the animation in question today, follows neither of the above tropes. Curiously enough, this project was sent to me through FimFiction, and a word of advice for the future: if you want something to get to me quickly, YouTube channel page or Facebook message is probably the way to go, since I don't check FimFiction as often. It was brought to my attention that some commenters found Pinkie's voice to be off.
Okay, so you got this far into the video and you might be thinking, what the heck did those bronies go and do now? They turned Deadpool into a pink pony?
While it may not be perfect, it is certainly not poor quality enough to be distracting or detract from the overall experience. Hell, at least it doesn't sound like this.
Oh, just as you did at my brother's wedding.
The animation is also sound, if not hugely spectacular, but where Pinkiepool really stands out is in the writing. Credits for both go to Christian David Serda. The two franchises are played off each other to create a scenario that is humorous from the ground up. The subversion of a pony with a cute, high-pitched voice being a badass with a firearm is funny in itself, but a number of original jokes are woven into this setup which add extra icing to the mix.
This mask hides my horribly disfigured face. See, I've got these superpowers, but they came at a price. This is what I look like now.
Oh my... Ironically, given the title of this series, I've really had nothing negative to say so far, and there's a reason for that. The biggest issue with Pinkiepool is not in the main body of the work, but in the intro, which goes on a little too long. Now, what distinguishes this from, say, Lightning Bliss starting a review with a full minute of Patreon shoutouts is that it's parodying the opening titles of Deadpool, and as such it can be considered part of the body of work in a sense. For this reason, I cannot take away too many marks, but it's worth remembering that an intro is still just an intro no matter what you do with it. Deadpool's opening sequence may have been cool, but it's not what the viewers went into the cinema to see, and furthermore, that film had 2 hours of running time to play with as opposed to 5 minutes. There are other points you could pick out, like the absence of any noise of the vehicle the characters are on, but that's just an insignificant detail, really. Perhaps I'm more lenient because the bar has been set so low in the past with audio editing. It is certainly always refreshing when something sounds clean and fluid. As a matter of fact, there is a lot about Pinkiepool that is refreshing. It is the kind of project which makes me want to do these reviews. It also reminds me exactly how creative and how talented the fandom can be at times, and that just because a pony's tail and shadows in Twilight exist doesn't mean that that has to be the standard. If there is to be an episode 2, then I look forward to it with intrigue. I'm Midnight, and I'll see you next time.